Hello, and welcome to the Jovi D Show. This is a podcast about a former corporate media in broadcasting and now a venture in entrepreneurship and podcasting. How are you? Welcome. This show is about to start right now. So, the Thursday truth is, how did I get into podcasting? Yeah, how? Coming back to my reference, how did I land it in podcasting? This is what I have to tell you, my kids. For the longest time, way back then, a couple of years ago, I was working as a full-time employee at the top of the number one Hispanic broadcasting networks in the United States. And you reach to a point where you say, okay, what else can I accomplish? What else can I do? I think I had the blessing to check off quite a lot of things. The best thing that I really feel happy it was that I took advantage of completing my education through working full-time. I remember that I was hired and I didn't have a college degree or I hadn't completed it. But then there was this amazing program, which was a tuition reimbursement program that my company offered. And I took advantage of that. And that gave me a leap in able to complete my bachelor's and later on my master's. And, I really, you got to write things down. You got to set goals and check them off and set new ones. That's what keeps you going. I read this thing about, and please, disclaimer, I'm not discrediting anybody that obviously if you're going through anything mentally that is causing you a lot of stress, please do seek for help. But the following was a thought that says, if you are depressed, that means that you're living in the past. If you are anxious, that means that you're living in the future. And if you're actually happy, that means that you're actually enjoying the present. Okay, a quick story. I'm a former media corporate. I've been in broadcasting, mainly in the Spanish market, for about quite a while. I'm not giving it out here, my kiddos, but let's say that in Miami. That's my hometown. And then fast forward in 2013, I started living in LA. Prior to that, in 2016, everything changed and my life was turned upside down. Hello, my kiddos. Please know, with all due credit, in all, touching bases on how did I got into or landed in podcasting is because I'm a curious learner. Second, the other thing that I wanted to point out is, in order for me to be able to train my mind and the way that you're able to check off and accomplish things is because it has to do a lot. I would say almost 80% of the people that you're surrounded by. May that be my college friends, may that be my former coworkers, by seeing, by observing, by listening. A lot of more listening than talking, and knowing what works and what is safe to do. I consider myself a risk taker. I really do. I jump, and I think in a calculated risk, and an understanding that if it's possible, and working and studying. It took me almost 10 years to complete my degree, because I started college in 1996, but I didn't graduate or got my bachelor's in 2005, and that was eating me up. I was kind of feeling like behind, but it was a feeling that inside of me that I was like, I'm not going to let this happen. There's no way I'm going to let this go. I cannot live with myself without not earning my college degree. Yes, it was something culturally, nobody was pressuring me per se, but I was pressuring myself in order to accomplish this. And when you're like so close, I'll never forget the day that I was literally completing in summer of 2005, one of my last classes that I had to take for the third time, but I finally passed it, which was European history. I never forget. And I had my classmates, and they were like, people kind of drag themselves in having group projects, but there's a reason why we have group projects. Because guess what? In the real world, you are going to have a teamwork. You are going to rely on other people and delegate some of your responsibilities or some of your tasks, and count, and keep people accountable that they're going to deliver, that they're going to come through. I know it's a drag, but just that's how it is, because even as an entrepreneur, I don't work by myself. I do most of it by myself, but I don't work by myself. You got to rely on a group of people that are going to elevate you and take you up to the next level. They're going to push you, and they're going to bring out those chops out of you, because that's the only way that you're going to prove yourself if you really, really want it, if you're made to do this. And it takes quite a lot of effort. And when I was definitely deciding about this podcast thing, I was just looking for my digital print where I can introduce myself in the way that I feel comfortable. And, I do the YouTube, I do the Instagram, I do the Snapchat, I do all those wonderful things. But then again, you have to have a presence of consistency and persistence. And this is the format. Thank God for Anchor, I really do. And now I hope that you guys are enjoying these new features and music bits. Just a side note of observation. I'm just really intrigued. I love the tools that are coming through. All right. And also, with all due said, that the only thing I wish that, even though I study business, I think the best test that you can get when you're studying business administration or any kind of business, international business, there should be an assignment where you actually set up a business. I know that doing it in theory is one thing. Yeah, knowing the accounting, the financials and everything, but actually doing it in real life, in real time, I think that's where we really need the right score. But that's another podcast that I will discuss with you guys at another time.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.